Hello everyone, this is Agonea, and continuing our beginners or novice Lemuria play. As we left off, it was turn 22. I'm going to just dive right in as we continue to attack Utgard and see what is going on with the other players. So, winner of year one, still no magic sites. Finish alteration. We had lost people, and as expected, Utgard is going to be retaliating. So let's look at a few of these battles. So what did Utgard bring out? They still are fielding basically chaff. So we have a few priests here, nothing really crazy to look at, and then our Legion of Ghost. We've also brought in our Prophet, VP of Supply Chain, coming in to be able to actually use power of the Shadelands to really help with the power of the units and the ghost, if you will, and can quickly surround the back line. And it looks like our first fight, which probably was a lot of PD, is in. Yep, it's all PD. So they didn't have anyone defending. Nothing, didn't really lose anyone out. Again, having the Prophet come in to be able to really bless all your specters is amazing. So we have started our siege here. We also have the other two players, and this is our first time, I think, seeing these fights. I want to save this one for later, because hopefully we can get some information about our opponent's bless more, especially with it being past turn 12 and seeing some things that are awakened. But let's just keep jumping in to our Utgard fight. So this was their big army that we were expecting to hit this palisade last time. We knew they have a lot of troops. Still a lot of javelins, and I'm not about to pronounce this, Garmaherd, with them leading from, I believe this is a Holy One leader back here, the Jarl, yeah, against RPD. How do we want to see this break down? It's not going to be pretty. We were talking about how good Lemuria's 1 PD is, especially with this Awe plus Fear combo, but this is just a lot, so we'll see how they get surrounded here. Actually, the arrows are actually bringing in javelins before, and chop and trampled. So still trying to frighten. We don't really have a lot of spells for them, but we have a good look at what this standing army is. A lot of chaff overall. Even the majority of them is with a good number of spearmen and javelins, but this is being the strongest part, and the Jarl as well. But we were expecting that to be hit. And then, let's see, they're also attacking. Oh, so they split up their large army. So one attacked the palisade, the other one attacked the north one above it. I think this is where we just have a console, as well, with the PD that we had outside getting closer in. With this console, it's going to probably be closer than expected, but right at this banishment line with this Jarl, I think, no, this is a goad. Sorry, it's a holy too, so worse for us. They're going to just chop through with these hurlers. So much more hit points than average chaff because they're giants. And we have this guy scripting apostasy. Or we didn't script it, but it looks like we were able to get them to flee. Even though we lost a bunch of units, this was a big win for us as well. Again, just pulling up with a holy power and Shadelands being able to help with banishment. Just having some actual buffs for our ghosts make them last so much longer as well. So, oh, and that is the reason why. So Apostasy did hit one of their goats as well, so we were able to grab one of them. But overall, we didn't lose anything critical. We got some of their chaff down. Taking one of their priests is wonderful, and we got basically halved their total. So, but yeah, so let's keep looking, and we'll come back to this battle. I want to save that for now. So stay with Utgard. We'll actually go east to west this turn. So some unrest. Utgard has some Dominion hits. We're there now. Nice sum of gold and Rod of Leper King. This is an item. I hadn't played a lot with this item at all because I've never been Lemuria. This is my first game. I saw that it increases command but diseased. And it says unless undead himself. So one of the things I was thinking about is sacking someone to kind of put this on an enemy commander. But thinking this is better, I kept trying. I never got to test this, and I should have tested this game to see if that statement is fluff or true. It's something I'm going to. So if you actually know, definitely just if you won't mind leaving a comment to tell me. But I'll be testing that myself and be adding that to a future video as well after doing my own test of it. But nice to see getting free stuff. It's never bad. Then we had completed Palisade, and they were able to breach. So with this large army they sent over here, we were breached mainly, but we had people in place to be able to protect if needed. We're also being sieged by that mummy that we showed last time, and we didn't do anything about, and we are starting the Utgard fort. But let's jump into actually the other players since their war is underway, and let's see what we can find out. So, looking at Atlantis, let's start there. They brought several of these big mages. I think these are cap-only mages that have paths that we don't really like. You have Holy, you have Death, and you have Water. And with these protected by the Ice Guard, just having magical high protection. So their natural protection, I think, is, I thought it was 19. But they have ice protection too. So you'll get 2 per cold skill in the province. Regardless, this is insane. Having 24, 15 defense, these units are just amazing. And this is why we're scared of Atlantis. With the ice glaives or where they have the blade, this line is going to be just chewing through our ghosts. But they also, looks like they have one of their heroes as well already, Mother Hydra, the once and future queen. So, Holy 4, fun. I'm glad we have a nap with them right now, because this would chew through anything I have, and I don't have any research to counter that right now. And over on the Argartha side, looks like we have a lot of chaff with crossbows and swordsmen, and then probably just the cave drakes that we see here. I don't see any mages they brought in. Just, it looks like, yeah, just commanders to hit. So, but we already can tell. Looks like Atlantis is bringing in. So they're bringing. Let's look to gain some information about their bless and from the magic research. So we have air elementals and water elementals coming over from the Atlantis side. Stygian skin. I believe that is all 3. I'm gonna have to check that. Liquid body. So we know low or the medium summons at Conj 3, and then it looks like some alteration buffs. But again, these crossbows are struggling as well with these Ice Guard units, and they are pushing straight into the back line. But some banishment coming out. I don't think anything coming. No, nothing hitting the Atlantis backline. So they look like they are. I thought they were retreating, but no. I think they're on attack closest, and they came back instead of hitting this crossbow line in the back. So killing these cave drakes. And just chopping through. This is honestly, I would say, great for us a little bit, because just we wouldn't want to be fighting either of these enemies. I'm curious about what the research path is on your Gartha side, but crossbows retreating, so now they have fleed or routed. They're going to clean up the rest of the cave drakes. So yeah, so before we go out, let's check. So we have their blessing, poison, magic, pen 1. Okay, so was that nature 2? Probably No, an astral 1, 2, 3, 4. HP is probably from, I assume, maybe blood, but okay, nothing crazy. But let's say summon air elementals, Stygian skin, liquid body. Let's check you as well. Air shield. Yeah. So let's jump into research just for me, for my own knowledge. So liquid body, I thought it was, no, I'm in evocation. So liquid body is alt 4, okay, and Stygian skin is alt 4. So Conj 3 alt 4. They are ahead of me in research, but expecting that to be a thing. I'm expecting to be kind of behind in research of them, using mages to summon, build labs, and also site search. But where do they fight? So they fight on who initiated? Anaka. Atlantis attacked. So Atlantis was already sieging their fort, and they knocked them off the fort. And this is a cold 3 province. They're getting +6, so would not be wanting to fight Atlantis in winter as well. But let's look at the total hit. So they both lost a good number of their troops. These are 16 gold a pop, 10 gold a pop, versus, I mean, these cave drapes. They definitely put in work. A lot of long dead. 80. It looks like, just from numbers, Atlantis definitely came out ahead, because really the bulk of their troops, actually looking at it, these long dead mess with my just raw math, but that's just nothing. So Atlantis came out very, very ahead, Agartha as well. Let's take a look at, honestly, the nation. So we still know where their cap is, and let's just assume they have the surrounding cap. And we know they're besieging Marion now as well. So Agartha has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Maybe, let's do one of these, 18. And Atlantis has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll give them 6, not sure. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 23. So actually, maybe they're much closer than realizing in power. At this point, we have a nap with we have a nap with both, but I'm imagining that's not going to continue for long. And really wondering, at this point, I definitely don't want to tangle with Atlantis, so I'm more interested in breaking with Agartha, but they seem very similar. I'm not really sure which one to go forward. I am worried, just looking at why they may break that first with me, is throne distribution. Looking at this map, and I don't think we've spent a lot of time on it, we have 2 thrones within 2 space, or 1 space of our cap and 2 the other way, and then another throne fairly close by. So these 3 are kind of like in our sphere of influence. This is only 4 away as well. Now granted, it's 3 from Atlantis and 1, 2, 3, 4, so this is kind of in the middle, but I know it's going to be coming. Just having these 3 similarly here. The rest of them are much further away, but still 2, 3, 4, 6. That's the next one, I think. But anyway, something to think about. But that is a future topic, but wanted to note down this fight in particularly. So what are we doing this turn as a whole? Since we're already 15 minutes in and we're still talking about turn 22. So we are going to go ahead and hit this Divine Mummy. We're bringing some forces in, honestly, just to get rid of it and to collapse our troops to be ready for it. We've finished the palisades at the top here. We have palisades across our border with Atlantis. I think that was, yeah, that's the only one we built, and we have a temple going here, and now we're going to keep this strong. I think we're going to be moving down to build farther below. So building a lab, moved out a mage, or level 1 mage, if you will, the lowest mages that we have, even though they still have great research, to build labs and start being able to produce mages instead of these holy ones that we get for free with just a temple. Still building palisade here and defending that with some troops, moving in, like I said, for the divine mummy. One of the people that we apostatied, calling shadows though, and recruiting crossbows. So we're getting crossbows up with the goal we have in a few of our different provinces just to cap them. We still never found any Jade Sorcerer, which is unfortunate. We actually didn't get many indies at all. But keeping that there, because I definitely want to hit this throne soon. And so keeping this here to lead our human troops, because a lot of our, outside of our centurions, the people that we have been shoveling, actually they have higher than I thought, 80. They could be shoveling that around as well. Instead of depending on that. But I think I didn't realize this at the time, that I was thinking it was just undead was high, and so I wanted to make sure to lead these with crossbows. Still trying to see what is adjacent and get some vision and some scouts in the lands that we do not see. Still not building anywhere in this side, building a lab with Wormfriend as we continue to push around. And I believe, yes, our pretender is still site searching as well and going through different provinces. So on the other side, we are making sure that we don't lose this palisade, so we're bringing in a fairly large group here. President coming in, again, this was amazing. I don't think I gave enough credit the first time I looked through. High protection, high defense, good life, high magic scores, and holy 2. And Monster Summoner is constantly making some of these shades in Dominion. Bringing in plenty of troops to have the shades in the bag. I talked about in prior videos, not knowing where to use them. Probably bring them up slightly to have them closer in, but I don't want them to lose. I want them to be behind, fill in the gaps, and paralyze as well. So, and then concentrating on Utgard. So right now we have 159 siege. Now looking at a normal fort, I think it's, whereas voluntary 300, but this is going to be a giant. Their defense is 1,000. So 159. Let's say they have 30 defenders or something. Let's say this knocks down a 125. We're going to have several turns. What is that? 2 to 300, 6. So 7 turns. So we really want to bump this up more. So we are trying to reinforce from several places, and I think we have a shade to go back to get more troops. We have more people joining, and if we knock these off quickly, which is the goal, we'll be coming up and reinforcing that. Because the only thing that we have with Utgard right now, we have these marshland jaguar tribes, this troop. These are the main forces, so we want to get that off. So let's look at research. Still, we check this. It's still trying to push ahead, trying to get through, and still working on pikes. So just checking magic items. We have made a spear accidentally. We're trying to get these pikes going for our consoles. So let's jump to turn 23, because that was a long piece of information for that turn. So we have someone claim Throne of Knowledge. Let's jump into these fights quickly and we'll run through these. So they left a small force. Oh no, this was another province they may have left to hit. We'll see how. So far our track record is not good with Utgard. So, oh, this is right above it. So they hit that same province again. Didn't lose anyone, and we lost the person we that we apostatied last turn with our crossbows that we made. So, and then I believe this is a palisade. So they were still sieging with their plenty of troops, and we brought in Argos plus our president or vice president, I think. President, sorry. and attack grid. Try to get to that back line. So keeping a screen up as much as we can and trying to push in, and they are already rallied with. It's very clean, I would say, from our side. So we lost 10 ghosts compared to all of this. So it not even was a good win, it was just a huge defeat for them. So we had some indies. Here's a Divine Mummy. Threw a lot more troops than needed at it. We put, I think, yeah, a few apparitions just to get some plagues to disease it down. Not realizing it was already diseased. So something. I don't know if actually he's a plague carrier and he's not diseased. So I don't know what popped this disease, if they just come with disease. But anyway, we were trying to put that ahead to disease it, but that did nothing. Probably just actually got our troops more disease, but melted this down. No defense, normal protection, just high hit points, but it's not going to do anything to those ghosts. So we overcommitted here, but this way we could split up troops. And then not even going to jump in here. We keep expanding in the water and lost some forces to sea with Atlantis. So now we have a clear Atlantis border. Keeping these underwater provinces, I really like them as I've learned more with Lemuria as playing this game, is since our Dominion doesn't push well into water, just the nature from land to water, etc. These really just stay as gold mines, if you will, because they're not really depleting that fast. Even these that started nearby, they still haven't depleted, and then these are just making us money to keep expanding with ours. But so let's jump into the events and we'll do scripting. So more gold, yay. Gems, yay. Death gems, wonderful. Even if it's one, more than we have. And so we finished the Palisade and the Mercs. So we have a good wall that we're here as well, and we're already at moderately. So we'll check in the troops now, and then we got one of our consuls back. That's immediately coming in. So trying to see more, and it looks like it's kind of what we expected with Atlantis. They're down close enough to Argartha. Maybe they are going to be pushed in, but Atlantis looks fairly big comparatively to Argartha, and plus we'd rather fight Argartha, so I think they're going to be our first target. They're still sieging Marional. This has been going on for a while, several turns, still watching that. Let's see what's going on there. But what are we doing this turn? I want to try to get in another turn after this as well. So after we fought this giant mummy, we're going ahead and pulling troops to our surrounding borders, but also wanting to get this throne. We knew this throne just has a lot of chaff. They have some mages, but nothing serious. And bringing in the consul that just popped up with plenty of lines to hold up the boars and deers and everything that we saw, and plus being able to bring in some buffing. So I don't see this being a huge problem. Again, this didn't have anything really to note. We're also pulling over as we're sending out our holy ones just to go in to be able to collect troops. I like having these shadow tribunes or these holy ones in your palisades to be able to, at a moment's notice, bring in, and while they're waiting there, they can keep calling spirits and bringing in shades. So trying to break them out, as you see these arrows going out with orders to break up. But if you notice, we try to have at least someone in each one. With our border with Abyssia, where we have a palisade going out, not really wanting to create a temple and commit there with this army here. We're kind of leaving this where this is the one that still, we're not preaching a lot. We don't have high dominion, still a lot of gold, so we're just keeping that back as much as possible, and still building up crossbows, building a fortress, searching. After building that mage, we moved our pretender to build in, or to keep site searching. And here, after we took off a bit of their army, now we're playing forward. I feel I was thinking at this point they're going to reinforce. They could hit the palisade again, but I want to get this army closer to be able to jump over to Utgard. I do not want this to take a long time, and thankfully we're already at moderate. So we brought in 200, so we brought another 50 siege strength in, and we're still bringing that Shadow Tribune to go and get more troops. So at this point, I'm hoping that we've cut down that 7 turn theoretical that we had last turn to maybe a 3. So trying to cut that in half now with 200 siege strength in. But we have places to reinforce from to the side. What are we doing with our gems? So we're make another pike that we are, and I believe that we're making a centurion. The reason why we're doing this here is to keep reinforcing. We lost some. We have plenty of this. We could, of course, move the Shadow Tribune in. I'm thinking I probably should have. But just in case we need more of a military force to help with that, we're just making a centurion. They're cheap, 5 death gems. They bring a lot. So doing there. And still exploring. So we see how much territory Gath has as well. So I'm going to jump ahead to probably the last turn that I'll do in this video. That was turn 23. Yes, let's jump to 24. Alright, so made a Centurion. Still haven't found magic sites. This is really irksome. And we see another battle between our human players, Atlantis and Argoth. And Atlantis attacking. So similar setup. A bunch of these ice guards in front screening. This time they didn't bring as many mages. Stygian Skin. He brought 2 probably for air elementals. So, and Argartha has just PD. So I'm just skipping this. Let's not waste any time, because that's going to be, decimation. Actually, I say that as skipping. I wonder if he'll cast air elemental here because of the troops. No, he probably was scripted for it, but it's not going to cast. So good test. So let's look at our fight. So we attacked the province they hit last time with our huge force. Looks like they reinforced with a large screen themselves. Look how fast. Now I have to showcase this. I don't think I did last time. This combat speed, I think after he gets power, he got a Holy Blessing. Unholy Power, he just zooms right in. His combat speed of 30. I think he didn't even get the power either. I just love watching him. He just skates through everything. Once we give him better equipment, it's going to be amazing. But this was very one-sided. If this many ghosts being buffed up and paralyzing, they're not doing a lot. And it looks like we didn't lose that many Oz ourselves. 17. So we did lose a Centurion. I want to go back and see that. That is painful, but still, what we took out, I will take it since we're mopping them up at this point. So let's go ahead. Oh, so here was a mistake of some scripting. So I think this is scripting number 4 issue. That's very blatant. We didn't have a Centurion on hold like we did with everyone else to buff up. So this, I'm sorry, you are not long for this world. Charging in. He lives surrounding for a long time, but they're going to just cut straight into him. Yeah, right when the ghosts get to him, he falls down. So that was I'm glad we made one last turn, because we clearly saw the future of us losing one this turn. So this should not have happened. We probably would have lost more ghosts, but we'll definitely take that. And then let's look at our throne hit. So here we have this legion of vine men, we have boars, we have deer. I think last time we saw they just had a few mages, so it's some nature mages. This one somehow got horror marked, and this one, oh, it has copper plate. So, and some blood slaves, I think, yes, with death gems. But wooden warriors being going out, protection. Ooh, and they cast swarm as well. Oh, not Howl. I was thinking Howl, but no, there's just Swarm. Banishment hitting. Oh, we have some little imps coming in. But again, nothing crazy. A lot of things already fleeing from the battlefield. Routing. Trying to get to this back line and can't get through. these Vitamin, they're not going to rout with being mindless, morale 50. So we're having to just chew through this chaff, hoping that we don't break in time as well. They finally have routed the Indies as a whole. And yeah, that's going to be our first throne. So we lost a bit. We lost a Centurion as well, but overall was able to take it. So we're going to see which throne we get before it out. So some fire gems, Dominion change, which I'm actually not happy to see because it's already becoming a very low income province. Unrest is high. I'd rather keep the Dominion to be able to be making more ghosts here, so that's unfortunate. And then I think we were moderately last time, so still moderately in. So let's go through the turn. Let's look at what throne did we get? We got the Throne of Fire. So, got some fire gems. We can maybe use the fire gems with these, but we don't really going to be using them for much else. Well, I say that, but then we do, with our Pretender, have Fire 7 for Awe. So we were planning on jumping in the game last and going the Elemental Path, or Elemental King Path. So this will really boost our Fire Gem because, again, let's look at our gem economy. We have 1 air, 1 fire, 3 astral, and then how much did we actually find? I mean, this province right here is funneling our whole operation completely. Now, granted, we haven't site search. We've sent our Pretender out to site search as what we can, but we've only hit what 4 or 5. This is something that, looking back, I really should have made another, like what I'm going to call level 2 death mage to help with site searching, because we have plenty of territory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 33 provinces, and we have site searched a handful. Like, what is that? Maybe 10? Not even 10. So we really need to be spec'ing up more. So these 3 fire gems a turn is going to really help, especially if we want to try to pursue that in the Conjuration. This attack skill is huge as well. Our commanders are going to be blessed, and they're going to help. And one thing I did not realize until I started playing Lemuria is that the high rank ghosts you get, our lictors, are also sacred. So we'll be able to utilize that attack skill, and we get some Fire 3 mages. So I'm going to go ahead and claim it. One thing great about Lemuria is most of the big people that you have leading your armies, your big commanders, they're going to be Holy 3. They can cap as soon as they hit. So, but let's finish up the rest of our turn. So moving to keep, if you will, Ghost over, or not Ghost, Tribunes over to be able to support, making sure we have some in each one, building up fortresses along the wall here, and because right now we've gotten our Utgar side, but let's go ahead and just build these up to make sure we at least have a fortress. And even though we have a nap 3, want to keep it fairly defensive. Building a palisade, this is, I think, a mistake. We should have went ahead and built a temple, going that up, but maybe we were waiting to see if the Dominion was shifting, because again, we still have this enemy or prophet teaching, which is bringing that Dominion down. We still didn't find any magic sites, so bringing them over. Yeah, it looks like it's just a lot of troop shuffling. So bringing down here for Utgard and to help with that and clean up these marshlands. So jumping over. With this army, we went ahead, I think I missed it, but we went ahead and equipped from the lab here with these 2 units with enchanted pikes. Again, being able to get that length 5 high damage magic attack, great. We're trying to clean this up. Thought we could push into Utgard, but I really want to make sure they don't keep harassing. So we're trying to just keep everything in, as mentioned, moving and collecting troops. That will be it. We'll just do a quick look at our opponents. So Again, Agartha still sieging Marignan, trying to slowly take that down. We see Acro pushing in slightly, but I think him and Gath, it looks like Gath is much larger, and then Atlantis is still pushing all the way up to Agartha. So my thought is at this point in the game, Utgard is going to be falling shortly, with over 200 siege strength, and we're bringing in more. Should be a few more turns, and then really want to add pressure to Agartha as well and keep our Atlantis nab safe. But we have our first throne, and we're about to have one of our enemy caps, so looking well for us at this point. So that will be it for this time. Again, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.